Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Latched Mama podcast. If you are new to us, we are a podcast for any parent, mother in the trenches with kiddos, infants through whatever age. And today we have our incredible Karen Baker here.
Woo-hoo! I'm so excited.
Karen does anything and everything behind the scenes regarding the podcast. So is this the first time we've had you on?
Yes. This is different being on this side of things. I'm usually sitting in the back with Kennedy and we're like cracking up.
I love it. Karen has all the energy. And so today we're going to hit some mom bloopers, which is, it's just always good.
That's awesome.
It's just always good and real.
So excited.
So.
You're listening to Latched Mama Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Wirt, busy mom of 6 and owner of LatchedMama.com. Join us each week as we talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, postpartum, and all things motherhood.
I am. Are we getting right into it, Kennedy? Yes?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey, I have a pretty funny story to tell here. I was breastfeeding my son the other day, and I was talking to my mom. I told her, I'm like, I really have to find a new deodorant. This postpartum sweat is just gross. My armpits stink so bad. And my son literally nods his head while breastfeeding. Me and my mom both just died laughing. It was pretty awesome.
You wonder what they're thinking there. They probably do.
That's
like,
sweet
what's this
little
lady
baby
doing? She needs a shower.
Yeah. I have a funny story about this, actually. After I had my first child, I used to never sweat. Mm-hmm. And then I started sweating, but only under one armpit, my right one.
How does that even happen?
So I was telling my mom and my sister about this, and they were like, oh my God, same. They both only sweat under one armpit. So
is it genetic?
I guess so.
Now I gotta look it up.
It's so
I'm
weird.
gonna go look up postpartum sweating with one armpit.
One
but
armpit,
I mean,
yeah.
I can see it. The weird things that happen postpartum. Yeah, I had the sweats, but I don't remember that. And maybe I did stink and nobody told me.
Nobody
but
told you.
I'm sure I forgot my deodorant. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn hilarious.
Yeah. Great story. Oh my goodness.
All right. Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the things like hygiene wise that probably go straight out the window postpartum. Yeah. And you're lucky if you get a shower.
Absolutely.
And I kind of thought that story may be going to where she put something completely different on her armpit. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I thought I grabbed like my deodorant spray, but it was actually like cooking spray. Like that's like where I thought maybe the story was going, and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. But that's pretty funny that sweet baby. But
that's sweet baby.
That perfect timing was like, yep, mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, you need some deodorant.
That's awesome.
All right. And I wish I knew who said that. Who was that story from? Do you know, Kennedy? Didn't say. Oh, well, thank you for your story.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely made me smile today.
Hi, my Mom Blooper just happened this week. I had signed my kid up for this craft kit that our public library was doing for their summer reading program. And we had our plans change, and so I wasn't going to be able to pick up the kit on time. And so I sent this email to the librarian to let them know, and I'm just going to read it out loud to you. So the email says, "Hi, we aren't going to be able to make it to pick up our kid, so please give it to someone on the waiting list. Thanks, Jessica." The librarian was so kind to not even point out the mistake that I just offered my child to someone that I don't know. And she just said, "Thanks for letting me know."
Oh my gosh. Oh, can you imagine that librarian?
Oh my, the autocorrects that
my
happens are
gosh.
insane. Insane. No, that's pretty hilarious, and she's sweet to not call you out on that. But that's just so funny because what did I do the other day? Are you on are you in the marketing channel?
No.
You're not. Okay, we need to get Karen in there because you've got such good creative ideas. Anyways, I posted the other day. I was like overwhelmed, and we have this photo shoot tomorrow, and I was like, I typed, we have a Bats shoot tomorrow. Does anybody have any ideas on what we're going to do? Like, please help me. I'm a bit like creatively drained or whatever. And then it just, the comments like kept rolling in, and I had hopped off Slack because I was doing something else, and I got back on and I read these. What it autocorrected to bath. And so we're doing a bath shoot tomorrow, and people were like, ooh, what are we making? Like loofahs? And like, what are we shooting in the bathtub? And of course, hilarious. I mean, people knew what we were shooting tomorrow, and it was pumpkins and falls. And they're like, I think she means bats. But it autocorrected to bats. Funny. But yeah, the autocorrects are hilarious. But I love that it offered up your child.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm not even sure if it was autocorrect or she just, typed the wrong word. But I will tell you. So
yeah, I'm trying to think where T and D are on the keyboard. I think they're close together.
They probably are. So during the pandemic, at the very beginning, my husband decided it would be a really good idea for us to buy baby ducks, which they grew, or not ducks, but they were ducks. And so they grew full grown. They were huge. But so I texted the word ducks a ton, and it would autocorrect all the time. So
do you still have said ducks?
No, they died.
Karen, what happened?
I don't know. They got sick. They got some sort of weird duck disease.
Duck disease.
I don't know.
Stop.
Now we have 2 dogs, 2 bunnies, and 3 kids. So
okay,
hopefully
the pet department is going strong.
We went to this little farm out in Charlottesville called Snugglebutts Farm.
Okay,
and my family now wants a goat, a baby cow, and a baby pig.
Can you do that? Where you're
out the suburbs?
Like, you are in a suburb.
No, yeah, we're not.
You can't do that.
We can't do that. I'm like, no, we're not. No.
We will just take frequent trips to the farm.
Yes.
Aww.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, guys. Thank you for all that you do. You all are so fun. I'm calling it my blooper story today. I have a story about when I had, at the time, I had 6 kids, and the oldest one had just turned 13. So we were going to the grocery store one day, and I was feeling so super accomplished because I had all the kids. We were dressed nice, ready to go. Oh, and I was just so proud of myself. So, and of course, I had to nurse the baby and make sure this baby was nursed before we left and that she would be okay and content while we're at the store. So, just getting out to the store is a big deal with one kid, but when you have a lot of kids, it's like, oh, wow. I ran a marathon before I went to the grocery store. But anyways, we were at the grocery store shopping, and I was like, yay, me. I was feeling so accomplished. And we were shopping, and I didn't know it, but there was a wine display in the store at the end. And I had my baby inside the carrier and the carrier inside the cart that holds the carrier.
Terrified.
And I went around the corner, and the edge of the cart actually hit the wine display. And we were like, what is going on? I had all the kids behind me because that's the way that I learned to manage them as we were shopping. Thankfully, they were all behind me because when I turned the corner, the wine display and I had a little head-on collision. And I accidentally knocked over the wine display. So we have like 12 to 15 wine glass bottles rolling down the aisle like bowling pins. I was like, oh my goodness, the kids, they didn't do this. It was me. I did this. They broke. The kids were safe, but the wine bottles broke.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, an employee heard this crashing and came, and my kids were behind me, so innocent. And here I was, and yeah, I hit the wine display.
Oh.
How did they not? Did she say they shatter?
Yeah,
the image in my head. I mean, you got the whole thing. Like, that was a great story. You know, I picture her, and when she said they started rolling, I'm like, wait, they're rolling? Like, how? I'm picturing like.
Oh no!
Wine everywhere, glass everywhere.
Oh Lord! Well, can we also say who puts wine at the end of a thing?
No, wine needs to be in its own little hole in the back, like a little
Protected.
cave with
Oh my
doors that like
gosh.
lock.
Yes.
Oh,
So you're a
sweet
mom
lady.
of 6, so you probably appreciate that. I mean, even taking 3 kids to the grocery store, I
Yeah, I
hate
don't.
it.
I know. I feel like I'm a little spoiled. Although maybe the last time I do Instacart, because I swear every time I fill up that cart, there's like, oh, we have a service fee and we have this, and I'm like, I'm really tired of paying all this, so I really just need to get to the store. But some days I don't even have the time to get to the store.
Yeah.
But I do remember I would find a favorite little store, and it was always a little food. I don't know how familiar you are here. Anyway, there's this little food line that's tucked back here, like way down. There was like this big Honda dealership. Anyways, it's kind of tucked back there, like nobody goes to it. So if I had to do a small little trip, I would take all of them. But like everybody wants the little shopping cart and everybody wants to fill up this. And I'd have twins in like the little, my little fold up double stroller. And that story actually brings back a little like PTSD. But it's all good. But like I totally relate. And why do you put wine on the end of the aisle?
I do
like,
have a
put diapers on the end of the aisle.
something,
Put something else. Put the wine and maybe mom needed that wine, which is totally fine.
Yeah. Well, my friend was at Trader Joe's, and she said, I literally just went in for the cheap wine. Like, I don't know if you go to Trader Joe's, but they have like...
You don't have one close? I know.
A relatively inexpensive wine. And she said her kid had grabbed a hold of her purse, and she's like, I literally am standing in line with 2 bottles of wine and her 2 kids, and they pulled her backwards. She's like, so here I am at Trader Joe's. I fell. I'm like in line, and she's like, but I did not break the wine bottles.
Wait, she was holding them and she didn't break them?
She did not break them, but she's
That's
like, I
skilled.
fell over holding the wine bottles.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. See, whenever stuff like this happens, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do differently? Like, how would I do that differently, right? But at the Aldi, they have like a front kind of ledge, so like it's a little bit harder to fall out, but. I mean, you putting it even on a front shelf, let alone on a corner of an aisle, like that's just
a recipe for disaster.
It is. Yeah. You're asking for it to be pulled over. So,
I was actually at Trader Joe's, and they, asked for my ID, and I had shown him to it. Mm-hmm. And I did not realize that my ID was over a year expired. So public service announcement, do not let that happen, because you know what happens.
Did they not give it to you?
Well, not only that, I had to retake every part of the driving test at 35 years old.
Do they have like a cap, I guess, if you're expired a certain couple months, you can just get a new one?
Right. So if it's like
a year, you have to go redo the whole thing?
After a year, you have to redo the whole thing.
I don't think I'd pass.
I had to study. I had to take the written part and the behind the wheel, and I did the behind the wheel in my minivan.
I'm sorry. It's really kind of funny. Because always like the foggy questions got me, I swear. Or like if it's raining at all, you got to have your windshield wiped. Anyway,
there are so many rules that
you probably don't even know.
You intuitively know, but you don't know how far you're supposed to be from the curb or something.
No.
Anyway, don't let that happen.
All right. There you go, people. Check your driver's license.
Check it
today.
right now.
Right now. Oh, my goodness.
Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I am from Missouri, and one of my favorite mom bloopers is actually a repeat blooper. This happened frequently. The first month after my daughter was born, I was so exhausted that I would hear her crying in the night, and I couldn't figure out why she was crying, because I knew she was latched, and I how on earth is she crying? If she's latched, she should be happy, and she should have a mouthful. And then I realized that it was actually my pillow that I was breastfeeding, and my baby was in her crib. Aww. And this happened regularly throughout the first month. And the best time was when I did the same thing. She was crying in the night. I was so drowsy that I thought I was breastfeeding her, and it was actually my pillow. And then I actually was convinced that I had twins, because clearly I had a baby in my arms, but I couldn't figure out why there was another baby in the crib crying, and I thought I had a twin that I didn't know that I had all along. And I was mortified that I hadn't been feeding the twin for weeks. And then I realized, again, I was just nursing my pillow.
Oh my gosh. That sleep deprivation is no joke. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and the dreams.
Oh my gosh. My first baby, I remember those sleepless nights and I was like, I will never get through this. I'm never going to sleep again. And then it does get better. I promise.
Yeah.
If you're in that part where you're like, think you're breastfeeding a pillow.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it reminds me when by like my twins were like 3 or 4 months, I would do everything in the dark, like pitch dark. Like I moved them to their rooms, I think around then when they kind of went into their own cribs and to be a little bit more safe. And so everything was in the dark. So I'd go in there, but I'd nurse them. Sometimes it just depends as I got older. Sometimes it was different times, but in the beginning I would nurse them, like both of them. So I'd have to get one out and I would change a diaper and then I would put them securely like near my chair. Like it was such a process. It was like this 15-step process. But anyways, I do remember a couple nights I went to go look for like, reach in the crib. Like I would reach down the side, like you put your reach down the side and I'm finding baby. Well, there was no baby in the crib. And I'm
terrifying.
like, but I'd just gone to that crib. But like when you're so tired and it's dark and I'm like, okay, who have I got and who have I not? But like I freaked out, kind of freaked out. And then like, you're looking around. I went to the other crib and there's a baby there. And then and I'm like, oh yeah, I just got that one.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the other crib. I get the other crib. The baby's in the other crib. But when you're so tired, it's just...
gosh.
You're on kind of this robot, and I swear that kind of creative side of that brain, that dreaming side kind of takes over, whether you're trying to escape reality. I don't know what it is, but it is super active over there.
Yes.
And you do all kinds of weird things.
Yes.
Or I would put 2 diapers on. Like, that's
awesome.
what, like, I would change one and put them down, and then I'm going to get the other one, but I pick up the same baby and put another diaper. Like,
that's awesome.
so I'm totally with you, Jennifer.
Yes. Bless your
that's
heart.
hilarious. And I'm wondering if almost the letdown triggers that. So like, was your pillow soaking wet? Like,
yeah, I have some follow-up questions for Jennifer.
What questions would you ask Jennifer?
That's my main question. Yeah. Like,
oh,
that's funny. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes.
Hi, Melissa. Hi, Lindi. So this isn't exactly a mom blooper, but it's a dad blooper, and it's pretty awesome. So a new park had just opened up in our town, and we took the kids, and we have 4 kids, 7 for 18 months and like 6 months. So we take them to this park, and I've got the little baby, and I'm keeping an eye on our daughter who's 4 years old. And my husband has the 2 boys, so the 7-year-old and the 18-month-old. Well, the 18-month-old likes to run off. And so we were getting ready to leave. My husband picks up the 18-month-old, and he's got him in his arms. And we're looking for my daughter, the 4-year-old. And we find her. We're getting ready to leave. My husband looks around down, like, on the ground, and is like, oh, my goodness, where's our son? I can't find our son. And he starts looking everywhere for our son, who is in his arms. And at first I'm thinking he's joking, and I'm giving him this look like he's crazy. And then I see the look on his face, and he is legitimately freaking out that he can't find our 18-month-old son. And so I smile at him. I'm like, honey, he's right there in your arms. And my husband looks over at the toddler, looks over at me, has this look of like, I can't believe he's right here, and is like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I thought I lost our son. He's sitting in my arms. It was pretty great. Like, the best blooper I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yes. I could totally see myself doing that.
Can you wonder why that happens? Like, then my mind's like, is it kind of some scientific when you're so frequently carry a weight, or it happens with like sunglasses and like pens. Like, I'm literally holding a pen and I'm like,
where's a pen?
Lennox, where is it? Like, I'm trying to write this grocery list, and he's like, it's in your hand. And I'm like, Oh my gosh. Okay. Like, so I'm wondering if it is when you're always in a certain position, it just becomes like that normal feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dads have some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if yours does.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I one time looked in the mirror and I had a pair of sunglasses on my head and a pair of sunglasses on. I was like, I look so ridiculous right now.
Because you had two on?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. My husband, I don't think he has a lot of huge dad bloopers, but I was telling a girlfriend of mine that I was coming in to do this today, and she's like, "You have so many good ones." So, Lindi,
we probably tune these out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a good one. I'm down to 3, but so while I'm telling mine, you think of your good blooper story.
Well, I have a good dad one, and I might have shared it
Ooh.
last time, but I will again if there's anybody new listening.
Well, I'm down between 3 because all of them are really, really funny. But I'm going to go with my minivan story. Okay. So after our second was born, I decided we had to have a minivan, and my husband, I guess this is sort of a dad story. It's both of us. We wanted to get like a vanity plate,
Oh, a special one.
A special one. And so we got it and I was so excited and got this new minivan and I was driving this minivan around and and then a friend of mine, I pointed out to her, I'm like, look at our fun new license plate. And she was like,
what did you put on it?
So it was supposed to say one fun family. But what it spelled out was one FN FMLY. One effing family. So when she told me that's what she read it as, I was like, oh my God. And then after that, I'm not even kidding you. I was at like an IHOP or something. And some guys were taking pictures of my license plate. And I'm like, oh my God.
So what did you do?
Well, we had to change it.
Did you keep it though?
We did keep it. In fact, for a white elephant gift.
Did.
For a white elephant gift exchange, though, we gave one of the license plates. And it was like the most coveted white elephant exchange ever. So it was pretty epic. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I don't have anything that crazy, but I still keep coming back to, and I don't know if it's necessarily like blooper, but my husband's like epic story when he took the 4 kids with like 2 of them had no shoes and then like 2 minutes down the road, the one had to poop. Mm-hmm. And so, now you don't have 2 with shoes and you have to they're all young enough to where you have to take them all into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he's somehow in the men's like extra large stall or something with one on the toilet and he's carrying the other 2 and like they're all in pictures together and it's hilarious. And then he was going to like, I don't even know where he was going, but they had to stop at Target because they don't have any shoes. And Nora picked out like dress shoes and he came home like incredibly drained and he's like, I like do this every day. And it's like,
potty training with kids, like you're just setting yourself up for all kinds of embarrassing.
But it's one of my favorite pictures ever. A picture of whoever was, I think it might have been Nora on the toilet and like they're all like hanging on the bar, the kind of emergency safety bar and stuff in there. It's just such a hot mess.
Oh my God. I like to think of myself as a hot mess a lot of times because I think if I have a lowered expectation, that's better. So I actually looked up. It says that adults only laugh about 17 times a day. And so I think, yes, but
okay, I can see that.
Laughter is like legitimately one of the best medicines that you can ever have. Like it lowers your stress. It burns calories.
I swear there's so like laughter class, like not a class, but like that's literally, there are things for that you can go and just like laugh.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I hope this Mom Blooper just makes you chuckle or laugh. And, one of the things that I read was like, we should all act more like children. They laugh and have fun. They don't take themselves that seriously. Yes. Like, I do stupid stuff all the time and I just laugh at myself because, why not?
Yeah, definitely. I'm so with you. And I think sometimes that's why at the end of the day, I'm like, I just need a funny movie on in the background. Yes. Like, I'm probably not going to really watch it or I've seen it like 25 times, but like you need that laughter.
Yes. I always get my kids, if we're going to sit down and watch like YouTube, I'm like, let's do like a try not to laugh.
Yes.
Like something, I just want to laugh. Like I don't want anything heavy. I just want to laugh. And
do you guys have that
fun.
game where you put the thing in your mouth and you have to say like the words on the card and you have to guess it?
I've seen that.
I don't know what it's called, but like we got that recently and it's pretty darn funny.
That's awesome.
So,
I may have to get that with my boys. They would love that.
but yeah, laughter is great.
Laughter is the best medicine. And I'm going to take 1 minute because I feel like we need to talk about this more, is the Facebook group.
Yes.
For the Latched Mama podcast. If you are not over there yet, you should be, because we get to talk about the podcast episodes, which is so fun.
I know. And I think we've had a couple slow times recently, just with World Breastfeeding Week and stuff. But we're all in there. Yeah. And we need to chime in more because I think that would be really, really good.
Well, a lot of times when I listen to you and Melissa talking, it feels like just part of a friend group. And so just being able to then after we listen to a podcast have a place to be like, hey, what did you think of that? Or, oh, that was such a good point. Know, it's just fun. So anyway, that's my like shameless plug. Latched Mama podcast. It's a Facebook group, so come find us.
Please join us.
Yay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Do we have any more? That's it for today.
Yay.
All right. Well, I love these. So hopefully we can do it again.
I love to
get
laugh.
some more stories.
Laughing's my favorite.
Laughing's my favorite.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Lindi. Awesome.
Right. Bye.
Bye.